Please. So now we'll move on to Dr. B.C. Anish Krishnan Nayar ji. Anish Krishnan Nayar ji is he's an independent researcher. He holds multiple master's degrees in English, linguistics, philosophy, and religion and psychology. His doctoral research was on multivalency, that is, how a text can provide multiple, at times contradictory interpretations. He is Madhva by faith and focuses on agamic systems. His research works mainly focuses on colonial constructs and narratives of the religion and their effect on the colonized. He has written numerous articles in Tamil and English on Tantra, comparative literature, and related topics. He teaches technical communication in college level and does independent research. Some of his writings can be read with the website Tamilini.in, Devadasis Beyond Constructs and Contentions. Over to you, Anish Krishnan Nayar.
So first, let me thank Dr. Naharaj Paturi and the Indica team for giving me this wonderful opportunity. My speech is, or lecture is entitled Excluding Exclusions to Excursions. When deities come out for devotees. This is the topic of my title of my lecture. So what I'm trying to do today is I would like to, trace the ahamic significance of Utsavas and cart processions, or what you call as Ratha Yatras, in that is part of temple rituals. The thing is, what I try to do, plan to do today is, first I want to give you an idea about the ahamic, injunctions or ahamic rules regarding this Radhotsavas and related rituals, number one. Number two, I would like to point out how these things are inclusive, because they are including the way that they are excluding the exclusions. There are exclusive parts in the ahamic rituals. There are exclusive parts in the ahama. But however, during the time of these temple festivals, so what happens is that the exclusions are done away in certain methods. And the entire ritual cycle follows certain elements which bring together both the priest, devotees who are with initiation and devotees who are without initiation. And that forges a very strong connection with all the villages and the land around the temple. And another thing which I would like to say is that these rituals of, Ratha Yatra or Utsava or whatever it may be, the terminology may differ from each and every region, but whatever the thing is, the temple-based celebrations, they are not only for the devotees of humankind, but they are also devotees of demigods, even for Buddhas and Pichachas and all those beings are also supposed to be blessed by the Lord during these days. So what I would like to do is, in the part of my lecture, I would like to narrate you a story from Trangur. So related to such a temple festival. Then I would like to move to the idea of carnivals, because many of the Western Indologists, they think that our celebrations are similar to the idea of Michael Bakhtin's carnivalesque. I would like to say that it is not like that. I would categorically disprove that claim. And finally, I plan to come to the modern days where we are caught in a polarization. On the one end, we have certain people who go for a reductionism. On other end, we have certain people who want to do away with these things. So how to handle the current trend when it is connected with temple celebrations and whatnot. So this will be the last part of my lecture. This is how I have structured it, and I hope that I can do justice. And I have a request to the moderator. Just give me a warning card when I have 10 more minutes to wind up the presentation, so that I can, adjust my time. So Srinivas, can we go to the next slide, please? Next one also. Yeah. So see, first and foremost things, there are Shaiva Ahamas and there are Vaishnava Ahamas. In Tamil Nadu, we have Pancharatra, Vaikanasa, and Saiva Ahamas. These three types of Ahamas are there. And in Kerala, we have tantras which are very closely aligned with these three agamas, but there are certain deficiencies, certain regional variances, and certain changes. But however, the basic structure is almost same. And when we talk about agamas, there are three types of utsavas or celebrations are roughly said or what to say brought forward in all the three agamas. I'm not going in for a sort of micro classification because that will be very text specific or sampradaya specific. I would rather like to give you what to say a bigger uh, map. So basically, we classify utsavas into three types, irrespective of the agamas. One is Nitya Utsava, the second thing is Prayachita Utsava, and the third thing is Arjita Utsavas. So the terms are very, you might be familiar with the terms. Nityotsavas are the utsavas which have to be done each and every year or each and every month. So the list of Nitya Utsavas is already settled. So when the temple came into existence, most probably the Maharshi or the deity, who brought the Lord Swami into the earth and who started the tradition, ritualistic tradition, would have fixed this Nityotsavas. In the month of Margari, Margasirsha, you have to do this Utsava. In the month of Mahara, you have to do this Utsava. It is like that. So irrespective of what is happening or what's not happening, this thing should be conducted each and every year. In certain temples, there are even specific, Deities in the month where a certain Utsava like thing has to be done. So this is a very established tradition, and this will be a part of the temple calendar. In each and every samvatsara, in each and every year, they will be having these Nityotsavas according to the mostly lunar calendar. And they have to be done irrespective of the conditions. The second thing is Prayachita Utsavas. Prayachita Utsavas are rituals which are for expiation. If there are some shortcomings in the day-to-day rituals, if there are some durnimittas, that is bad omens and all those things, as a sort of expiatory rites, the agamas prescribe this Prayachita Utsavas. So they have to be done in complete to appease the deity and to do away with whatever shortcomings that was in the puja or in the rituals or in the ritual purity and all those things. And the third thing is Arjita Utsavas. Arjita Utsavas are Utsavas that are man-made. So we can establish or we can pay money or a rural can include one new Utsava. So one common example for this Arjita Utsava is what we call as Viruppannan Tirunal in Sri Lanka. So the ruler Virupodaya, he has established this special Seva or Utsava, and it is done for 10 days in his name. So the thing with Arjita Utsavas is that as long as there is a person, who is ready to sponsor the Utsava, and as long as the days of the Utsava don't clash with other rituals, and as long as it falls well within the realm of Ahama, it can be done. So it is not a perpetual thing. Some experts says even Arjita Utsava should be perpetual in nature. But most of the Ahamic experts settle in this point. Arjita Utsavas are not like the Nitya Utsavas. They need not be perpetual. They are optional. You can do it. So it is something like that. So everything comes within this structure. Then all the Ahamas, Saiva Ahamas and Vaishnava Ahamas, they give a Ahamic procedure to conduct any Utsava, including Radhotsava. Radhotsava, it's a Utsava of the, Radha. And in all these cases, the procedure is roughly same. So everything begins with fixing a date. So actually, in certain cases, the date is prefixed. So it may be a particular Deity or it might be a particular nakshatra, depending on the Panchanga that is followed by the temple. So this might be a very new information to you. In many temples of Tamil Nadu, they have their own in-house consultants, or they have their own in-house experts in astrology who would write a separate Panchanga almanac for the temple. And in certain cases, a particular calendar date itself is enough. In certain other cases, they have to fix the muhurta and the Deity accordingly with taking some other factors into consideration. So once they fix the day, probably 3 days before the beginning of the Utsava procedures, or 1 day before the beginning of the procedures, so there will be a Raksha Dharana. See, usually it is the chief priest who does the Rakshadharana. In Kerala, this means that it is the Tantri who is supposed to do the Rakshadharana. In Tamil Nadu, they have in Pancharatra Ahama, certain Pancharatra Ahama experts says there exists a difference between Archakas and Aradhakas. So Aradhakas are the people who do the Nitya Puja, and Archakas are the people who specifically do Ahamic rituals connected to Radhotsavas and what to say, connected to Varshika Utsavas and so on. So whoever may be, the Archakas, the Tantri, or the chief priest, and the assisting priest, all these people, they do a puja of the Raksha, and they do the Raksha Dharana. And in certain cases, when there is a Dharmadhikari of the temple, he also wears Raksha Dharana. The entire set of people who are to be a part of rituals of the Utsava, they are supposed to do the Raksha Dharana. One unique aspect of Raksha Dharana is that many Smriti texts and many Ahamic texts say that once you wear the Raksha for the Utsava, it is almost as good as the Raksha that has been worn for a yaga. So after that, you shouldn't do anything mundane. You shouldn't be involved in any human things. And the other side is that converse theorem is that you will not be affected by any purities or impurities or anything that is related to the day-to-day life. So once you have worn the Raksha, it is you are isolated, you are sequestered, and you are immune from all the worldly issues. So that is how it is. So once that's the first step. The second step is what they do is after this, they do what we call as Mrit Sangraha. So Mrit is mud, and Sangraha is collecting. So ritual pujas will be done, and sacred mud would be collected from a land or near the temple pond, and this will be taken. See, this collection of this mud has Mrit has a very important role in Utsavas, because the third step is what we call as sort of ritualistic laying of seeds, or Ankura Arpana. Ankura would be done. So Navadanya would be sprinkled on the ritually collected mud, and the Tantri and other astrologers of the temple will very carefully watch whether everything is going well, because these seeds which have been what to say, planted in the mud, ritually collected mud should sprout. That is a very important Lakshana, and that is considered to be, if they sprout properly and if the crop grow, what to say, very in bounty, if it is very good, the growth is good and rapid, then they think that, or then the meaning is that the deities are pleased with the puja. And before this ritual collection of Mritiha and Agura Arpana, there is a ritual known as Anupnya. So in Saiva Ahamas, there is Vigneshwara Puja, but in Vaishnava Ahamas, naturally, Vigneshwara Puja is not there. But Anupnya is getting permission from the deity. So Anicca in some place, Anicca is in most of the cases, Anicca is limited to the rituals. In some temple, there are specific signs which are connected to Anicca. So they do the puja, and they wait for a specific order from the deity, which is the Anicca. That may be in the form of a sudden rain, that may be in the form of what to say, sounding of a bell, or that may be that the flowers should fall down on a particular direction. But all those things are very secretly kept, and they are limited to the family of the priest. So getting the Anicca is considered to be very important. Anicca is, once they get the Anicca, then what to say, all other rituals, including collection of sand and everything, could follow. That is the very idea. Then there will be, if there is a flag staff, in certain cases, there will be hosting of flag. There are temporary flag staffs. There are cases where temples which have a permanent flag staff. And what happens is that the flag will be hoisted, and the special puja will be done to the Dvaja Stamba, that is the flag staff, and special puja will be done for, what to say, the flag, and Dvaja Arohana, the rising of the flag will be done. So usually in temples, the flag will contain the image of the vehicle of the Lord. So in most of the Shiva temples, the image will be that of Rishabha. In Vaishnava temples, the image will be that of Garuda. There are certain exceptions too, but those exceptions are very rare. For example, in certain temples of Sri Rama, the Dvaja will be that of Mukhya Prana or Sri Hanuman. But that is very rare. That concept is very rare. So one is supposed to follow various calculations and rituals while hoisting the flag. And it is considered, if the flag doesn't reach the top of the flag stop at time properly, it is considered to be a bad omen. And specific rituals to get away with these bad omens are also detailed in Ahamic texts. So after the flag hoisting, there will be special pujas in the temple and outside the temple. See, certain Ahamic texts, certain Saiva Ahama texts, they talk about a Grama Shanti, even before, hoisting of this flag. Grama Shanti is a ritual where the priest of the temple, along with his assistants, goes to 8 corners around the village or the temple town, and he will do what is known as Grama Bali. So here the Bali doesn't mean slaughtering of animals or anything like that. Here the Bali is offering of uh, cooked rice and types along with sesame or something, and water to the deities that are demigods or deities that are protecting the village or the temple town. Usually this is done only once a year or during each and every Utsava. So this Grama Bali and Grama Shanti, in certain Saiva Ahamas, they do earlier. In certain other cases, this will be a part of the rituals that has to be followed after after hoisting of the flag. So each and every day, Vishesha pujas, abhishekas, and all those things will be there. So in some traditions, the Radhotsava would be there. In some traditions, along with the Radhotsava, there will be hunting exploration would be there, especially in Vaishnava Hamas, Manjara the Lord would do a ritual hunting, going to a certain direction, and arrow will be the priest would make use of a ritually purified bow and arrow, and one tender coconut will be struck with the arrow as a part of the hunting ritual. So that is a detail in certain Pancharatra Ahama texts. So these things are there. Then before Radhotsava, there will be something which we call as Nahara Sodhana. Nahara Sodhana is actually a process where the Nirmalyadari of the Lord ensures that all the streets are fit, are in a good condition, or in a ritually pure condition for the deity to come outside. So what happens is that if it is a Vaishnava temple, then Vikshaksena would come outside for Nahara Sodhana. Vikshasena will be coming in either in a small Ratha or in a palanquin, and he'll be taken through the entire route where the main deity has to come to the Ratha. So that is almost a pilot visit. So Vikshasena, being the Dharmalyadari and being the chief of the assistants of Mahavishnu, he would come, he would take a survey, he would go through all the roads and the car streets and everywhere, to ensure that the streets are fit, the streets are in a proper condition for the Lord to come and bless his devotees. So this itself is a sort of a dry run. Okay, so Nahara Sodhana is done by Vishwaksena according to Vaishnava Hamas. Most probably it is Nandikeshwara or Chandikeshwara who does a similar ritual in Saiva Hamas. And maybe in some cases even Mahaganapati would do it. But this ritual ensures that the entire 4 streets are clear for the Lord to come. Then a Lord would come, most probably on the next day. He would be on the Radha, on the car, and special pujas would be done. And what happens is that the entire public, they would pull the Radha around the temple, and for once, twice, or thrice. Actually, Radhotsava is a very high point in the life of devotees. People belonging to all the villages that are near the temple would come for this, and see, there will be usually a sort of a competition between temple towns. So they would say, in our town, we brought back the deity within 12 hours or 6 hours. In some other town, they would say, no, we finished it within 5 hours. Likewise, so more number of people, more enthusiastic participation, faster the deity would come. Likewise, all those things are there in that. In certain cases, if there is some sort of vigna or some sort of obstruction the deity would stay back in the Ratha, and this sort of temporary stay had extended. There are history, there are documents which say that such temporary stays that are extended for 5 days, 6 days, or 7 days. Because if some problem comes to the Ratha, or if there is an issue in the road, block in the road, if enough number of devotees are not available to pull the Ratha, or whatever it is, the Ratha will be caught in between. It will be stopped in the road. There's a Tamil saying, "There iruthu theruvil vidudal," which is which means that, which roughly translates that pulling the temple car and leaving it in the middle of the street. So if you don't complete the thing properly, they make use of this, how to say, "There iruthu theruvil vidudal." So the There should come back to the starting point, which is the Nilai car. So There Nilai. So it should come back. So that is considered to be very important. And all these Utsavas are places where there will be enthusiastic participation from the people who have taken Diksha, ritual initiation, and even people who have not taken Diksha. So all those people will participate very enthusiastically. It need not be Radha all the times. At the time, the deity will be brought in Vahana also. He will be in Garuda Vahana, he will be in Hanmat Vahana, Hamsa Vahana, whatever it is. And the Vahana will be lifted by the priests of the temple. But other people would be around dancing, singing, saying pasurams, reciting stotras, and all those things with them. And one classic example is that of Alagar Koil in Madurai, where each and every year, at least some 10 to 25 lakhs of people participate in the, how to say, coming of the Alagar in his horse. Alagar is Mahavishnu, the one who is extremely beautiful. That's why he is called as Alagar or Alagisami. He is Kallalagar. He is the deity. He is someone who would steal your heart. So he is known as Kallalagar. And he comes to Madurai to visit his sister Meenakshi, who is Parvati, in a horse. So his visit and his travel back to his temple, it is celebrated on Chaitra Purnima, and the entire city will be in celebration. And people would be, how to say, celebrating each and every aspect of it. And both the commoners who are initiated, who are Bhagavadas, Bhagavata Vaishnavas, they'll be taking active part in it. And people who have taken temporary initiation in Varada, they would to abstain from alcohol and non-veg for 10 days or 40 days or whatever it is. And they will be also very enthusiastically participating in it. It is a point where some 25 lakh people, forget everything and aim on only one thing, looking at having a glimpse of Araha. So this is one example how inclusions and exclusions don't take place. And very interestingly, this is a point where Bhagavan comes outside from the temple to bless. See, actually, now whatever the power is there in the Mula Murti is considered to be there in Utsava Murti. In temples like Srirangam, the Utsava Murti, who is known as Namperumal, himself is supposed to be a Samvyakta Murti. And according to Ahamic injunction, or according to Smriti injunctions, in the yester centuries, a set of people were not allowed inside the temple. And even among the people who are inside the temple, allowed inside the temple, they couldn't have a very good darshan of the Lord. For example, Shashudras would be allowed during those days up to Dvajastamba or somewhere not like that, not very near to the deity. And during this Utsava, when the deity comes outside, each and everybody can have a very good darshan of the deity to their satisfaction. So they can have a complete darshan. There is no hindrance, there is no interference, nothing is there. So that aspect is there. And the second thing is that the deity comes out not only to bless human devotees, but also for blessing non-human devotees. See, like we have bhaktas of Manusha Jana for the deities. The deities do have other bhaktas also who belong to Siddha, Gandharva, Rakshasa, Vaishacha, Yudaganas. All these type of devotees are also there for the Lord. So they also wait out very eagerly because these Buddhas or Rakshasas or Siddhas or Gandharvas, they are also limited. So they too wait to have a glimpse of God and to receive his prasada once in some Samvatsara during the Utsava. So Lord comes out not just for us, but he comes out even for these things. And of course, during those days, Lord blesses even cows, and all sort of animals. So everyone can have a look at him because he comes on the street and he goes to the sea. And there is a very interesting thing about Utsava Bali. Utsava Bali is a special ritual which is done during the time of Utsava. So there is Nitya Bali, where Ashtatik Balas and the Ganas of the Devata are provided with the prasada of the Devata twice or thrice a day. Utsava Bali is a special ritual where certain Buddhas and certain Gandharvas and certain demigods are provided with the share of the prasada of Bhagavan every day or once during the entire ceremony. See, I'd like to share a tale from Thiruvananthapuram. So Thiruvananthapuram Anantapatmanabha Swami temple is a very unique temple where we have a, how to say, combination of Pancharatra ritual along with Kerala ritual with Pancharatra basis. And Taranallur Mutt is a, that is Taranallur Mutt is the name of a Nambudri family. This Taranallur Nambudris are the Tandris of the temple. So the ritual, according to the Karnalo Tandris, is based on Pancharatra text, but somehow it has become a part of Kerala Tandra. See, Thiruvananthapuram temple has a number of Utsavas. A few of them include Utsava Bali, special, that is special offering to the Buddha. And in Kerala, there is the system of Tandri, like there is this system of Bhattacharya or Shivacharya, the idea of chief priest or the supervisory priest in Tamil Nadu. See, there is a story or there is a narrative in Kerala text regarding one of these utsavas of Thiruvananthapuram Anantapatmanabha Swami temple. Usually, the Buddhas who are associated with Mahavishnu are considered to be very sattvic, very calm and forgiving and whatnot. But in Thiruvananthapuram, there existed one Buddha in the outer circle, not within the temple, outside the temple walls, but within the city walls, who is considered to be a bit ferocious. Still now, there is a Balipida for that Buddha, I believe. So what happened was that Thiruvananthapuram is the temple of the royal house. So being the high priest or being the supervisory priest, Tandri of Thiruvananthapuram is a Anantapatmanabha Swami temple is a very prestigious post. So there existed a little bit of rivalry between Taranallur and some other Nambudri family. Taranallur people were the hereditary Tandris, and there were a few other Nambudri families who thought that they could somehow assert this position. So what happened was that they decided to enter into a conspiracy to do away with the Taranallur rights and to somehow take over the rights. So what happened was that Karnival Namburis they are not just high priests or supervisory priests of this Thiruvananthapuram temple. They hold supervisory power over more than some 50 or 60 temples throughout Kerala, entire Kerala. Even they have their, what to say, jurisdiction in certain places in North Kerala. Once the opposing parties, they urged the king to do a Arjita Utsava in the absence of Taranallur Nambudri. So they went to the Nambudri Mana, the family, and they found that all the elderly male Nambudris have left the Mana for some reason. Maybe they have went to other temples to conduct the rituals. So they thought that this is the right movement. So they somehow, how to say, pressurized the king to do an Arjita Utsava. Their plan was that since there was no male member who is able to do the ritual, the king would automatically ask one among the contenders to do it, and therefore they can take over the ritualistic rites of the temple. But what happened was that when the king asked when the king had sent a notice to the family to do a Arjita Utsava, the human folk, they sat down and they discussed, and they couldn't call the men of the house because they were in, how to say, various other distant parts of the country. So what they decided was that there was one child who was 9 years old. The child had been given his Brahmotsava, I mean Brahmopadesha, and he was initiated in, how to say, the basic mantras that are needed for the rituals. So the women folk decided, see, it is Anantapatmanabha, it is our deity, it is our Buddhas, the Buddhas who know the bloodline of our family. So now they are trying to conspire against us. Let us, what to say, let us break this conspiracy. Let us do away with this conspiracy. Let us ask our child to go and do the ritual as far as he knows. Since all the Buddhas And since all the sub-deities and all the demigods know our bloodline, they can recognize our bloodline, and they know how we have served the temple for millions of, for more than a millennium. They will not be angry with us. And what they did was that they gave the ritual, what is it, water pot, Kendi and Darba to the child, and they said, see, do the puja as far as you know. You need not worry. And you have to keep in your mind that in temples, this Buddha Bali is a very sensitive thing. In each and every temple, there will be particular Buddhas placed in particular pot. And one unwritten rule of this Ahama and Tantra is that when you summon a Buddha, you don't summon just with mantra. You can also summon with music. Music means a drum beat. That is it. In Kerala, they say Bani Kuttu. So by the drum beat also, Buddhas can be summoned. So the opposing party, they didn't expect this child to come and do the ritual. So they were once again irritated. So they decided to teach a lesson to the Dharanallo family. What they did was that they gave some money, bribed one of the musicians, temple musicians, Maras, what to say. And they said that while the child does this Utsav Bali, you just beat the drum in a wrong fashion. Actually, the Buddhas of the Lord, they will come in order, in accordance with the drum beat. That is their summoning part. It is like a roll part. When your name is called, you come forward. And the Shandikara or the Nambudi is supposed to utter the proper mantra and offer the rice bowl. So if there is a confusion between the drum beat of the Mara or the temple musician and the mantra of the Namburi, this has to be in synchronization. If this doesn't take place properly, then the Buddha might get angry. This is the belief. So this little boy, he didn't know anything. So what happened was that he worshipped the Lord and he started doing Buddha Bali. And the Mara was not beating the drum properly. He was giving mixed signals. The Buddhas were confused, but they gave respect to the bloodline of Dharanallo Namburi. But so what they did was that they didn't harm the child. See, actually, this is a very sensitive thing. We need not think about Pablo or anything like that. We ourselves know. We might wait for, how to say, 1 hour or 2 hours for lunch without complaining. But once if our name is called, we go there to the counter, and if they say that, no, you go back, I will call someone, call you later, then we'll be irritated. Similar is the case of Buddhas. So there is no issue. But once the drum is, what to say, beat in a particular way and bet in a particular way, and they come forward to receive the offerings. Offerings. They come forward to receive their offerings. And when the Namburi boy doesn't give it properly, then they might be irritated. But even in spite of this irritation, all those things, most of the Buddhas did not show any adverse behavior towards the boy, since they respected the bloodline and since he was a very small child. But there was one Buddha in the corner of the particular wall who is considered to be very ferocious and who is considered to ignore all these etiquette and all those things. So what happened was that the boy was hearing that the drum call was wrong. There was no synchronization between the mantra of the boy and the, what to say, drum beat of the temple musician. And at that point, one of the male members of the Saranagor family, he entered the city. He heard the music. He understood something was amiss because the procession's movement and the music was not good. He saw it from a long distance. He just jumped into the Padma Tirtham or the temple pond. He swam through the temple pond, and the last minute, what he did was that he interfered. The Buddha was about to strike the boy due to the mismatch, but in the last millisecond, he interfered. And he did a prayoga of the Astra mantra. The Buddha was dispelled with, and the boy was saved. He continued and he finished the ritual. And the problem was said to the king, and the people who conspirators were punished. So this is how the story goes. Even today, that particular Buddha, which was about to strike the Tandri's boy, is being punished. That's what the belief is. That particular Buddha is not given equal share like other Buddhas, because the behavior of that Buddha was not becoming to that of a Vaishnava. So they have reduced the ration of that particular Buddha. That's what they say. See, we have to, it might be a story, it might be fanciful thinking, whatever it is, people need not agree with me that this is true. But what you have to keep in your mind is this temple rituals, they are not some jokes. They have their own sphere, they have their own sensitive points, and we have to be very proper with it. Only when a high priest or the supervising priest belongs to the tradition, he'll be able to do this Bhudabali properly. Only not just the priest. We have forgotten something else. Not just the priest, even the temple musician, he has to come in that heritage. He has to belong to that tradition. Only then this the synchronization is possible. In Tamil Nadu and Kerala, I don't know about Karnataka, in Tamil Nadu and Kerala, and at least in Tulnadu of Karnataka, we have hereditary temple priest, and we do have hereditary temple musicians who are associated with a particular temple. And only they know what sort of rhythm should be or what sort of music should be played at a particular point to invoke a particular Bhuta. So the mantra of the tantri and the music of the musician, they should go in synchronization, else it will lead to problem. So this is how Lord
Excuse
blesses
me,
the
Nayar sir. You
yeah,
wanted us to remind 10 minutes before. So you have another 10 minutes.
fine. So
And do you want us to move the PPT
yes, sir,
further?
yes, sir. Because the tale from Thiruvananthapuram is over, you can move. I was about to say that. So this is my major part of my lecture finished. Could you please move to the next slide, sir? And there is another interesting thing from Parameshwara Samhita. This Parameshwara Samhita is the temple manual of Sri Rangam temple. So in Parameshwara Samhita, what is said is that there is a quotation in the Samhita which says that during the time of Utsava, Rathotsava or other Utsava, anyone who thinks about impurity due to touch is considered to be contempt. The meaning is that during Utsavas, you are not supposed to talk about untouchability of any form, because among bhaktas there will be devatas. The demigods themselves would come. They will come straight forward. They will possess the bhaktas, and they will be there to have a darshan of the Lord. So if you say that you are turned impure by the touch of someone on the basis of caste or something like that, then you will be accursed. It's almost like that. During Utsavas, you are not supposed to talk about any sort of untouchability. See, now untouchability has been done away with the law since India, even before Constitution, there have been, how to say, our independence, there have been law. But I am talking about the presence of such a verse in a text which is 700 or 800 years old. And another important thing is that the coming of Lord in Car Street is very important in certain sampradaya. For example, in Ramanuja Sampradaya, there is this idea of Archa Avatara. So the Mula Murti is there, Amsa is there, Avesha is there. There is Archa Avatara is also there. Archa Avatara is the temple deity. And the question that most of the people would ask is that in Ramanuja Sampradaya talks about Archa Avatara, but how can all the people other than Brahmins, people other than the priest, how can they have a very good darshan of the Archa Murti? The answer is very simple. They can have, what to say, the darshan of the Archa Murti during earlier days. I'm talking about earlier days, not now. During this Utsavas, they can have a very close look. They can worship it. They can get his blessings to the heart's content doing the Utsavas. So when the Lord comes in the car street, he blesses everyone. Another very what to say, interesting thing is that in Tamil Nadu, the Lord doesn't just end his tour with the car street. At times, he goes to villages that are 25 or 30 kilometers away. May it be Ranganatha or may it be the Kanchipuram Perumal, both of them, they travel at times 10 to 20 kilometers to give a darshan to the devotees who are in nearby villages. See, in the case of Sri Rangam, there are tirthas, sacred waters around the temple. In certain sacred waters, tirthas are some 8 kilometers, 10 kilometers away. So the Lord goes to that part. He takes a dip. He doesn't take a dip, but ritually, Abhisheka is done with that water, and he blesses the villages at that village. See, he goes 10 kilometers, 20 kilometers away. And all these villages come once it used to be a part of the temple. And the Lord used to visit these villages. See, this is also very important because if you are very old or if you have some handicap or something like that, 100 years back, it would be a big challenge to you even to travel 10 to 20 kilometers. But when Lord himself comes to your village, then having a darshan is something which is almost ensured. So this aspect is also there. Lord used to tour and he used to visit villages and he used to bless his devotees. He used to collect his tax, and somehow it used to be like that. And we are going to the last part of my lecture. See, most of the Indologists who talk about celebrations, temple celebration, utsavas, and all those things, they quote this theory of Carnivalist by Michael Bakhtin. See, Michael Bakhtin's Carnivalist, the idea is very simple. He says that a carnival is a space, or carnival is a time when all the social norms are, how to say, uh, all the social norms are not taken care of. The social norms are upset. Those are the days when you are allowed to even act against the social norm, because everything is normalized in a carnival. That is the argument of this theorist. And he says that when the carnival takes place in a village, see, even socially unacceptable behavior, like maybe a lewd song, singing a lewd song, dancing, walking in the night, whatever it is, everything is permitted. So, carnival is a point or place or the time when the established social norms are inversed, and the celebration becomes the central point. And this may be true in the European context, but this is never true in Indian context. See, because our temple rituals are not carnivals. See, it is inclusion is there, but the suspension of the social norms, or reversal of the social norms, it's not there. See, there are differences. See, with this Raksha Dharana, once you wear the Rakshas for Utsava, the people, they are supposed to maintain utmost purity in thought, action, behavior, everything, right? So they cannot just celebrate. Even if the temple car is stuck in the street for 20 days, they have to continue the Diksha for 20 days. They cannot even cut their nails, right? Number one. Number two, I very clearly remember in many places after this Dvaja Arohana, rising of the temple flag for the celebration of Utsava, the entire town would be in a fasting mood. The entire town would avoid meat. See, in certain villages, the meat seller would close his shop and the fish seller will not come inside the village, because since Dwaja Arohana has been done, since the Gramabali procedure has been finished, so they are supposed to be in ritual purity. So they ensure that, how to say, that dietary restrictions and everything is there. And people usually don't leave the village during this time. So all the sets of rules are there. So in this way, we have to understand that this is not, we shouldn't confuse our temple rituals with a Western idea of carnivalist. So could you please go to the next slide, sir? See, current issues. And we have two extremes. No problem, sir. We can go to the next slide. Two extremes, that slide we can have. Currently, we have two extremes. On the one side, we have a set of people among Hindus who think that this Utsavas, the temple ritual festivals, Radha Yatras, all those things are nothing but celebrations. So they miss, what to say, the ritualistic part of it. They miss the Vrada or restrictions or the prayer and all those elements, spiritual elements in it. So they think that this is almost like a carnival, unfortunately, a point where we can celebrate to the heart's content. So the get-together point, like this, they say, they feel on one side. On the other side of the extremes, there are certain elements within Hindutva who want to reform the religion. They see all these temple festivals, Radha and everything as evidences of Muda Bhakti, or evidences of lack of jnana among the population. And they also see these things as unnecessary expenditure. And we are caught in between. On one side, we have these people who reduces to nothing but, what to say, just the celebration mode. On the other side, we have a set of Puritans who want to do away all these things. And they say that this money can be spent for something which is useful to Hindus or the society or whatever it is. See, the problem with any devout Hindu or any person who has some idea of the Ahama is that he has to handle these two people. On the one side, he has to educate a normal Hindu that this is not just about celebration, this is everything about spirituality, divinity. This is a point where you can get blessings from the Lord, and you have to keep yourself ready for that. On the other side, you have to try to educate the thinkers that this is not some, what to say, just what to say, not the waste of money or not merrymaking. This is very essential, not just from a cultural point of view, but also from a spiritual point of view. So this challenge we do have. And I would like to close my lecture with something. This yatras, utsavas, everything, Dvajarohana, everything was so powerful and so inclusive and so vibrant that even Roman Catholic Christianity in Tamil Nadu, they appropriated it. If you come to Tamil Nadu, if you come to certain parts of Kerala, you'll be quite surprised to see this Dwajastamba in front of Catholic churches. And Dvajarohana is there, procession of the deities are there. See, because the Catholic, what to say, the priests belonging to the earlier generations, they understood that this is a very vibrant part or the very integral part of the religious fabric of the nation. So they appropriated it. And we should keep in mind that the thing which has been found very interesting, very important, and very integral, and which has been even appropriated by other religions, we shouldn't abandon it. We shouldn't reduce it to mere celebration. We shouldn't condemn it as waste of money. We should try to learn the importance of it. And it is not just for us human beings, it's for all life forms. It is for other beings without body also. So keeping this in mind, we have to. With that, I would like to close my presentation. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Nayar ji. You are such a learned speaker with so many academic achievements and PhD and long experience in research. And you touched such a very significant topic, and it complemented the talk by Deepa Durai Swamiji on the one hand, because it was covering Shaiva Agamas, and you were also covering Pancharatra Agamas also. And but you added many more things like inclusiveness and those aspects which are excluded in the Agama, now included during the Rathotsava time. And you also focused on the significance of that in view of others appropriating our culture. So many important aspects have been covered by you. Thank you very much. That was such a significant contribution. Now let us see if there are any questions. There is some comment that the page is not moving or not audible.
No
So they
questions.
seem. Yeah, I don't see questions. So now, thank you very much. I cannot thank you enough, Anish, Krishnan ji. Such a wonderful talk. We will preserve it. Actually, with the transcription, it can be published also, because it is such a very important contribution. Thank you very
Want
much.
to add one more thing, sir? The title was also very interesting.
Yes. Title is also amazingly interesting title. It highlights the essential social aspect, also inclusiveness and inclusion. And thank you very much, Anish Krishnan.
Okay, sir. Thank you for this opportunity.
Now, yeah, please keep coming to our conferences.
Sure, sir.
Yeah.